from the RSN Carnival Studios. Each and every Saturday we bring you premium coverage of, at this time of year, premium racing from Melbourne and Sydney. Dean Lester, direct from the mounting yard. You wouldn't have touched Protectionist with a pole, regardless of how big it was. Had you been listening to Dino, because he said just paraded terribly. That's a prime example of the type of information you get from there. Vince Accardi seeing him beautifully, both Melbourne and Sydney, the premium data. And as the Sydney Carnival builds up for the Skull, the championships, Vince's work is just going to really come to the fore. So hopefully you are enjoying our coverage, and if you're yet to tune in, make sure you do so. Just a reminder with Vince Accardi and myself, bookings closed tomorrow. If you want to have lunch with Vince and I at Crown this Friday, go via my website, racetrackralphy.com.au, and shoot me an email. Bookings closed tomorrow. But time to look at Caulfield Blue Diamond Stakes Day. Track played perfectly. A little bit more moisture in the track from 2 weeks earlier. Rail was out 6 metres. Every horse had their chance, and the first of them was Rommel in race 1 as we go to the videotape.
Led narrowly. Armada throws out the challenge. Snella behind them, followed by Rommel, who's under the whip, and Onerous has worked his way into the clear. Galaxy Pegasus went to the 200 metres, a length in front of Armada, who's battling to get to him. Running on now is Rommel down the outside, and Fast Cash flashing home. Galaxy Pegasus in front. Rommel starting to storm home. Rommel grabbing Galaxy Pegasus, might have got him.
Gets there in the last stride. Rommel had some good Perth form. Galaxy Pegasus was ridden absolutely perfectly by Craig Williams and just got nutted on the line. What can we pull apart from this race? Very moderate time early. So Fast Cash, they got their tactics wrong. They just conceded the race. They walked early and they had to make up too much ground. So he's going all right. He showed at Moonee Valley when he won. He can cope with much faster pressure than that. But he had that bad run in between. He could win next start. I don't want to stamp him. The horse I want to stamp from this race, though, is Ullman. Again, fast pace against him, that's fair enough. Good tactics first up. Worked through his gears beautifully. Not sure next start, but I am sure Ullman's a good horse and he's in for a good prep. Stick with him. He's called Ullman in race 2 on the program. Tycoon Tara, she's just our little darling here on Carnival, and she got the money for us again.
Benaria strung up for a run, and Girl Guide can't get clear. Tycoon Tara's more than a length in front from Choose, Precious Gem, and Benaria. Winter Chiller flying home. Tycoon Tara's hanging on. Tycoon Tara got in a half to Choose. A length to Street.
Well, as happy as we were with Tycoon Tara, the numbers came out and they were a tad on the plain side. So whether she's now showing the effects of a campaign that stretches back to October or she needs a little freshen up, don't know. But I can't stamp her anymore. We stamped her after last win. She'd win again. She's won again. Got the money for us. That's the best part of it, being a punter instead of being an owner. We can just walk away. You know, it's like being an uncle or something. You just hand them back. Winter Chiller, dropping back in class, can win the right race. So it wasn't a bad run. It was outclassed Winter Chiller. So back in class, look for Winter Chiller in the right race. If they continue kite flying, they'll continue running those thereabouts races. But in the right class, Winter Chiller is ready to win. Race 3 in the program, Sabatini drew inside first up and got the perfect run and won. And here second up, she drew inside, got the perfect run and won.
Sabatini's a neck in front of Fontaine Ruby and Sama tested, but she's good. Sabatini won at 3/4 to Fontaine Ruby and a nose away third. Sama tested. Fontaine
Ruby led at a reasonably quick pace, then backed it off on Vince's figures in the mid part of the race and surged again. So Sabatini, their communication are they might have a bit of a crack at a really elite race. So can't stamp her, she's going super. But Fontaine Ruby, if she sticks to mares over a mile next start, absolutely beautiful. Moonee Valley mares over a mile, even better. So Fontaine Ruby, she's now ready to peak third up. Very happy with her. Race 4 in the program, an astonishing looking win from Alpine Eagle. Oh, no, the figures made it. It was an astonishing everything win from Alpine Eagle.
But Firehouse Rock's well clear. Minazinka's got up on the inside, ran to second. Alpine Eagle's starting to warm up now. Firehouse Rock in front. Alpine Eagle's not over yet. Here he comes. Flies. Oh, I'm not sure. He's dived at Minazinka, who's got up on the fence.
We're still not sure how it won. And it's got a lot to learn. So you can only see upside for Alpine Eagle, whether that means he can cope with any quick backup as of Monday morning, whether he might go to the Australian Guineas. Not sure about that, but we are sure that he's a genuine talent, Alpine Eagle. Minnesinga, now when it won at Sandown, it looked fantastic. They walked the first 1,000. You just weren't sure what it could do because it just exploded away the last 600. Here it had a high pressure race, coped beautifully. Minnesinga's a good horse. And Firehouse Rock, it was just off the really brutal speed. and fought on very well. Looked home 100 out. The run told. So Firehouse Rock's going well. This is a strong race for the 3-year-olds there, over 1,800. A lot of them probably go to the 2,040 next start. But Alpine Eagle, Minnesinger, Firehouse Rock, all going really, really well. Race 5 in the program. Dissident was the hot favourite. We give you the premium information on Carnival. And had you been listening to Carnival, you would not have touched Dissident's odds-on favourite with the barge pole.
Smoke and Joey serves it up to Dissident in the straight. Dissident kicking back now, puts the nose in front. Suavito's the late swooper on the outside. Dissident Mellum's had to pull the whip. He's boxing on, but Suavito's storming up the middle of the course, and she's gone by Smoke and Joey. Suavito takes the lead, and the dying stage is too strong. Suavito won it by a length. Second, Smoke and Joey. Dissident,
so another Group 1 of the great Damien Oliver on Suavito, who Chris Parnham and Wes Hunter got their tactics spot on with Smoke and Joey. They took him off of the 800 to really pressure Dissident, who got such a soft run in the ore. Smoke and Joey came off a brutally hard mile race when he won on the same day. So they said, right, we're going to make this a test and see what Dissident can really cope with, given he finished his last prep with a bleed and was given a 3 months out. So, brilliant tactics. What that then did, Ollie popped off the back of Smoke and Joey and just got trucked right into the race. So brilliant tactics on Smoke and Joey to beat the favourite. It did beat the favourite, but Suavito managed to pounce. I think on her form, just pure form, she could have been 20 or 30 to 1. She was $12. That told you she was going to run a mighty race and run a career PB, and she did. So she's just in for a cracking prep. Having said that, I can't stamp anything from this race. The time will tell. Race 6 on the program. The Melbourne Cup winner Protectionist resumed. As I said, Dino gave it up. From the mounting yard, it was just covered in sweat, not quite ready. So that then made it open. It made it open for a horse who is really, really good at running to his best. His name's Marino, and he got the chockies.
Turned third, and then came Happy Trails. Protectionist last. 200 to go, and Mourinho races to the lead now from Jack and Obey. Happy Trails starting to come home well, and then came Axar on the outside. Mourinho from Happy Trails finishing well on the inside of him. Mourinho from Happy Trails and Au revoir. Mourinho running out. Happy Trails drives. Mourinho wins from Happy Trails. Axar's
well done, the Galligators boys with Marino. He's going to run a big race in the Australian Cup again. How the track will play will be dependent on that, because his best opportunity is always on a good speed. Sensational ride by Vlad Jurek. He rode to the speed, not to the position. This horse can lead, but they were going really quickly. He sat fifth, just like he did when he ran second to the cleaner. So super ride there by Vlad Jurek. Happy Trails, the best pattern horse in Australia. He just keeps on peaking into his preparation. He'll be really, really hard to beat in the Australian Cup. We're not sure who might come down from New South Wales with perhaps superior figures. But as far as what's in front of him here, Happy Trails was super. Protectionist, we're just going to put a bit of a not sure on him. Want to see him on a bigger track, want to see him second up, want to see him more relaxed in the mounting yard and over a bit further, obviously. And just one from Peter Moody's yard. First start for him was Au revoir. He showed he had talent in the spring, staying talent. He showed here he's got some sharp early speed, and that's a great sign when a horse does that first up. He gassed out late, but Au revoir, you'd have to say he's in for a big prep. Maybe a Sydney Cup could be on his horizon. Race 7 on the program. The rule with the Carnival team, JT plays Lido Shuffle whenever we find a double figure odds, and we had the head wobbling. Thanks to the mighty mare, Shamal Wind.
The leader coming home atmospherical, and Shamal Wind and Fast and Rocking flies. Shamal Wind hits the front. Shamal Wind got up to win from either.
Brilliant Dwayne Dunn ride. He had the choice of getting on the back of General Jackson early, who's a 400 to 1 shot, and said he just pushed her a little bit. Got behind the right horse. It is written that got him around the home turn, and then she did the rest. Her short, sharp sprint goes for 1,000 metres. That's a long, short, sharp sprint that some people think. As always, dynamic 800 metres, and it's an Oakley plate. You're going to have really good elite performances, and she's a Group 1 horse, let's face it. Not sure what next for her. Under the Louvre, clearly set for the race. Great Daniel Moore ride, just missed. Fast and Rocking, best last 800 of the day. He's just going to keep running really well, that horse. And 1,200 is his best distance, but obviously they had to have a crack at the Oakley plate, given how strong the Newmarket's going to be. And Vane Queen was luckless. She's probably one we want to really stamp from this race. Race 8 on the program. The Blue Diamond Stakes was the grand final. A lot of fillies had their grand final 2 weeks earlier, and that left it for the Colt and the great grand final trainers in Peter and Paul Snowden to win with Pride of Dubai.
Fontaton race to Miss Gidget at the 200. Pride of Dubai crept for a run. It comes now. Here's Rima storming home. Pride of Dubai, Fontaton, Rima. Rima storming up to Pride of Dubai. They come down to fight it out. They hit the line. Pride of Dubai just held on and won.
super Damien Brown ride. Had he had a bit more trouble, maybe it wouldn't have been a super ride, but he's the harder you work, the luckier you get, the more talent you are, the luckier you get. And Damien Brown is an absolute talent. Got the run there on Prior Dubai. Rima looked home at the Boulders odds. There's what I want to say about Rima with the Boulders odds and the overall figures, and it might be a bit boring away from the hashtag narrative perspective about the absolute purity of these times. They were plain. Prior to Dubai ran to his level. The fillies peaked. If you're wondering how good the fillies were compared to the Colts, don't look at how they went on the day. Have a look at the fact that Rima chased home Heatherly in a blisteringly fast Moonee Valley 1,000-metre race, and Heatherly was then the one who set that cooking tempo up in that prelude. So if Heatherly's still in work, back to 1,000, she's the one you want to follow. As far as the rest of this field is concerned, I'm not saying Prodigy Boy isn't a very good horse. He might be a Caulfield Guineas horse in time, but take the communication from the Snowdens. They're avoiding the Golden Slipper. That's, to me, a fair indication that times aren't lying. That this is not a strong addition to the Blue Diamond, but in time, Prodigy Boy could be a very good horse. But be very careful of Blue Diamond as a form race. Last race on the program, we said index linked was one you want to stamp because next start he's ready to peak. He peaked.
Then by Chester Road, Bunchlock coming on down the outside, an extra zero, but inside the 200, and Index Linked is doing it well. A length and a half, Big Memory knuckling down well, and then extra zero. Index Linked is clear though. He's holding on near the line. Index Linked gets home by 3/4 extra zero. Big Memory.
So Index Linked, perfectly ridden by Glenn Bosch, just put second line, not going overly quickly, going reasonably quickly, but he's a horse who can cope with speed. He jumped cleanly, second line, and owned the race there. Because the speed was solid, Big Memory now peaks next start because that was a good tough race for him. He came off a tough mile first up. He's going to peak, and Big Memory is one we definitely want to stamp from that race. And here's one, probably the hidden horse of the meeting here, Martin Vast. Dino reported looked terrific in the mounting yard. His staying form was the best summer form going around through the likes of Avero and Little Engine. Really sound last part of the race, and he needs 2,500. So if Martin Vast gets in the right staying race next time, we definitely want to be with him. So horses to follow from this meeting is Martin Vast, Big Memory, Vain Queen, and Fontaine Ruby. If against the mares, I don't want to be on against the blokes, but if against the mares, Fontaine Ruby for sure. All my stuff is at racetrackralphy.com.au, and a big Australian Day Guineas coverage starts next Saturday with JT, with Vince, with Dino, and myself.